Heartland Song, who's going to lead this workshop, Connecting to the Land Through Song. Tiiu Strutt is a first-generation Canadian of British and Estonian descent. She lives in the land of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Huron-Wendat, in the land of the First Peoples of the Williams Treaty. Tiiu is an educator and an artist. She's a primary junior teacher in the public school system, where she is committed to engaging students with the natural world on a daily basis. And Tiiu has over 2 decades of experience writing and performing songs, and shares her songs to connect children with the land on her website, landheartsong.com. So with that, Tiiu, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Justine and to Catherine for welcoming me into the space and welcoming us all into the space. And thank you to all of you who are joining tonight. As experiencing the COVID experience at this stage and gathering as educators on a Friday night, I think I'm feeling very grateful to each of you for choosing to spend some of your time here. So I'd like to start by asking if you would mind introducing yourself in the chat, where you're joining from today. And I'd be interested if you could share a number with me. And the number would indicate what's your comfort level in singing with children. So 1 would be I'm terrified, not something I do. 5 would be I'm somewhat comfortable. And a 10 would be very comfortable, and I'm engaging with this all the time in my practice. So I'll just give you a minute. And I put in this visual here of the circle with the hearts because initially I was going to be doing this last spring in person, and we were going to gather all in circles. So I would like you to imagine that one of those hearts is there for you, and we're all gathered together in circle this evening to learn together. And I'm just going to spend just a moment looking in the chat to get to know you. Oh, this is great. Oh, wow, we have somebody from Turkey joining us. Hi, Ted. This is great. Wonderful. Okay. So this is actually great. I was hoping we would get a range. So thank you all for sharing with me. So let's, I believe we'll have something for all of you. This I'm going to get into in just a moment what we're doing, but I've asked you all to introduce yourselves. So I'll start with just introducing me. Even though we already had a lovely introduction, which was great. I really appreciate that. So my name is Tiiu Strutt. I go by the pronouns she and her, and I'm a first-generation Canadian-Estonian, with Estonian and British heritage. I'm joining you right now from my backyard. I live in the land of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Huron-Wendat, in the land of the First Peoples of the Williams Treaty. And my family comes to this land, or I specifically come to this land. On my mom's side, my mom came from Britain when she was a young adult for new opportunity and adventure. And my dad came to this land when he was 3 years old. And my grandpa, before he passed away, he told me the story of coming to this land. They were displaced from Estonia after the Second World War, and they arrived here really looking for a new home. And he told me the story of how they moved a fair bit when they first arrived. Nothing quite felt right, and then they landed in Thunder Bay, Ontario. And my grandpa told me the story of arriving there and being at the train station and watching this man leave the train station with a fishing rod in hand and My grandfather watched as he cast his line into this lake, and he brought in a beautiful fish, and he cast his line again, and he brought in another beautiful fish. And my grandfather said how he just watched this man bring in all these fish, and he said, you know, at that point he knew his family had found home. For him, he just in that moment, he knew that this was the place where our family would settle. And so I think about that moment and how that was really a side of my family coming to this land, and how the family is spread out across the land. Where I now live here with my family is much further south. But no matter where we've been in this land, we have reaped the benefits of this beautiful land that we live in. And we've come to call this place home in our family. And so it's with great gratitude I feel in my heart to the first peoples of this land for the bounty, the beauty that was found when my family came, and the sense of home that we have found here. So that's how I come to this land. I live here. I teach in the public board. I'm a mother to two beautiful children, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. And I'm a songwriter, and I've been writing songs since I was a teenager. And when we had kids, I started finding a voice in writing song, connecting with, I guess, a child's mind. And I share a lot of that work on my blog at my website, Land Heart Song. So tonight, just to give you a bit of an overview of what to expect, I'm going to share some activities that I love to do when I work with children, and I'm going to invite you to put on a kid's hat, to be a kid with me, and to experience the activities as I would do them with children, as an opportunity to allow you to explore your own voice, to support you in feeling more comfortable for those who are sitting around 4 or 5 in using your voice with children. I hope to leave you inspired to use your voice and to support children in using their voice as you work with them in the land. I'd like to share an approach to songwriting that I think is an approach we can all use in the land with children that you could bring back to your practice. And I want to also share with you how I use song to support an inquiry process in working with children in the land. If you do have questions, I invite you to put them in the chat, and I'll check in and I'll ask Justine and Catherine that if I miss something that comes up, if you could just kind of alert me to that there. But I definitely would like to have some, if something comes up, that you share it, and I'd like to know about that. So without further ado, let's start exploring. So I'm going to lead us through a couple of activities right now. In my practice, I bring children outside for our learning, and I've developed a routine that we start with. And this routine I have developed based on teachings that have been shared with me by Hopi Lovell Martin. Hopi Lovell Martin is a very kind man. He is of Lenni Lenape, Britain, and European descent. He is an educator. He is a PhD candidate with OISE. And I have had the opportunity to learn with him on many occasions. And he shared teachings with me about starting in gratitude and starting by saying thank you, to acknowledge the land, and saying thank you. And I've got some links here. www.edgeofthebush.ca is his website where he is sharing his work. He also has a blog called Acknowledging Land that is posted on the York Region Nature Collaborative website. And he also hosts monthly workshops, Land as Teacher workshops with the York Region Nature Collaborative. And those are great opportunities to learn with him and to two beautiful birds just went flying by. And in on his website and in the Acknowledging Land, he talks about working with children and starting by saying hello and saying thanks. So I'm going to lead us through an activity. Imagine that we're all in circle. I'm going to ask you to put on your kid hat now. And depending on where you are, if you're joining us and you're outside, then I welcome you to connect with the land that you're in right now. And I've placed myself in my backyard. So if you'd like to connect with the land that I'm in, you can do that too. But what we're going to do is we're just going to start by warming up our bodies and warming up our voices. So I'm going to invite you to reach down, stretch your body down and reach down and feel the earth. Feel the earth that's holding us here, and we can say, hello, earth. Thank you, earth. And I'm just going to pause for 1 second, because often what I'll do is I start working with children, and this is again a teaching from Hopi about starting to learn to use language. And this is something I've also been learning with Jody Johnston of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, who works in my school board, about using language. And so I will share with children how, you know, I work with young children. And so I talk with them about how some families, like my family, I explain my families come from another part of the world, and we live here. But for some families, it doesn't matter how far you go back, their families have lived in this land. And when other people came from other parts of the world, well, things started changing. And one of the things that changed is some people opened up schools. And the people who opened up schools, they spoke English and they spoke French. And that's why we're learning English and French in schools. But long before those people came, the families who've never come from another part of the world, they've been in this land and they have their languages. And the language in the land where I live here, the way they say thank you is miigwech. So I'd like to share with you the word miigwech. And what I share with kids is that's the language this land knows best. So as we're saying hello to the land and as we're saying thank you to the land, let's say it in the language the land knows best. So we're going to reach down to the ground again. Sorry, that was a bit of a segue. I meant to say that before. I got you all in your kid hats and got you reaching down to the ground. But let's do it again. Kid hats are on. We're going to reach down to the ground and say, hello, earth, miigwech, earth. And we've had a nice stretch down our legs and down our backs. And let's just warm up our bodies with a nice simple song. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. And to make sure we all do it together, let's count in together. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. And now I'd like to take your hands out and I'd like you to stretch up from the earth. And as your hands come up, I want you to reach out and see if you can tickle a tree. I've got a beautiful maple over here and a beautiful cedar, and I'm gonna stretch, 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 and see if I can tickle those trees. Oh, and now my body's a little bit more warmed up. I'm a bit more loosened up. Do you know what? Let's do that song again. Let's do it faster together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. That was good. And now, oh, look at the sky. What a sky we have tonight. There's just a few clouds that are soaring through the sky. Do you know what? Let's reach up. Let's reach up as high as we can possibly reach up. Let's stretch up. Let's see if we can touch some of that blue. Feel that sun warming on your hands. And you know what? See if you could grab some of those clouds up there. Did you get one? Let's bring it down. Let's smear it on the earth like it's icing. Oh, our bodies are really warmed up now. You know what? They're so warmed up. I bet you we could go a little bit faster together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Well, my body's all warmed up. You know what, though? I'd like to take you guys on a little walk because where I live, there's a beautiful creek just in behind here. But before we go on a walk to the creek, do you know what I really think we should do? Is I think we should have a little bite to eat. So I'm going to invite you to have a banana. Now, eating a banana, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to peel your banana. Then you've got to chop your banana. Then we're going to smush the banana. Then we're going to eat the banana. And then we're going to go bananas. Okay, can you guys do that with me? We've got to make sure we've got some food in our belly before I take you on this walk. So here we go. Are you ready? If you don't know what the first round, you'll get it by the second round. Here we go. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, chop, banana, chop, chop, banana, chop, banana, chop, chop, banana, smush, banana, smush, smush, banana, smush, banana, smush, smush, banana, eat, banana, eat, eat, banana, eat, banana, eat, eat, banana, go, banana, go, go, bananas, go, bananas, go, go, bananas. Well, our bellies are full. Come on, let's go for a walk. And so we'll walk down the street, and I'm gonna steal from the Smurfs now because the kids just love this little song. If we go la 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 la. Did you see that? Did you see what I just saw? Over there on my neighbor's front lawn, there's a little animal. This little animal has the cutest little paws you've ever seen, covered in black fur, has 2 little small ears and a bushy, bushy tail. I see a squirrel. And you're never going to guess what this squirrel has in his hands. Did you guess a banana? That's right. This squirrel has a banana in his hands. Why don't we pretend we're the squirrel? Let's get into that small little body. I want you to feel your little paws. I want you to feel that you're covered in fur, and in your hands, you've got a banana. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. A peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, chop, banana, chop, chop, banana, chop, banana, chop, chop, banana, smush, banana, smush, smush, banana, smush, banana, smush, smush, banana, eat, banana, eat, eat, banana, eat, banana, eat, banana, and go, banana, go, go, banana, go, banana, go, go, banana. Can you believe that? That just happened. We just saw a squirrel eating a banana. There's funny things going on here. Let's keep going to the creek. Come on with me. La 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 la. La 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 la. I don't believe this. Do you see that? Over there, not too close to us. Kind of, thank goodness, because I don't know that I want to be too close to this animal. This is a big animal. This animal is also covered in fur, and it's got big claws. Do you know what I see? It's a bear. And guess what he has in his hands? A banana. So let's get into our bear bodies. Are you ready? I want you to feel your body get so big, and you're covered in fur. And in these clawed hands, you've got a banana. Are you ready? Together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, a chop, banana, chop, chop, banana, chop, banana, chop, chop, banana, and smush, banana, smush, smush, banana, smush, banana, smush, smush, banana, eat, banana, eat, banana, eat, banana, eat, banana, go, banana, go, banana, go, banana, go, banana! And obviously we could keep going for quite a while with that. I think you guys got it, but hopefully through enough repetition, we all know the song now. I'm going to invite you to take off your kid hat for a moment. And I hope you had fun with me doing that. And I hope that you allowed yourself the opportunity to explore your voice, because that's what this is all about. Singing is about exploring our voice. And I think you probably also noticed I started with some very simple songs. I don't want to ever assume that they're songs that people would know, but they're songs that are from my childhood. And the reason why I start with those songs with you is because that's also where I start with children. And it's also where I suggest starting yourself, because your childhood songs are where you feel most comfortable. The songs that you sang when you were a little kid are going to be the places where you feel most comfortable sharing your voice with others. And so I started with Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes, which is a song that I learned when I was just a little girl. And then the Banana Song. The Banana Song is a camp song that was taught to me by Jennifer Stacy, an amazing educator here in Ontario, music educator. And why I use that song, and in particular why I've used that song this year in Ontario, well, in my board, we haven't been allowed to sing. And I've also been teaching the French program, is that it's not technically singing, we're chanting. And the other thing is that it's very easy to do in French as well, to translate, and just the verb and then banane. So we've had a ton of fun with that song. And as I do that with kids, I invite them, you know, we're going on a walk, and oh my gosh, can you believe what's over there? Excuse me. And I'll ask the kids to share with me what they think is there. And the way that I approach it is, no matter what they say goes. You know, we've done this with flamingos. We've peeled bananas with crayfish, all sorts of animals. And I'm just using that the banana song, in terms of engaging children in the land, is it's inviting them to consider who is sharing this land with us. Who are the animals that we share this land with, and to get them thinking about it. And if we keep doing this over time and children are looking more closely in the land, it's a nice little way to kind of connect in and see how their understanding, their environmental literacy is growing, because they're looking more closely and they're making connections with the land and the animals that are here that we share the land with. So I chose those songs because I feel very comfortable with them. And I think childhood songs are the way to start. And then what I think about is I think about music at a very elemental level, the very basics. So inviting children, and these are the things that I think about. How can we explore a fast voice and a slow voice? That's what we were doing with Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes. And then with the Banana Song, well, really, as we put ourselves into the body of any sort of animal, we're exploring all of it. We can explore a high voice, a low voice, a loud voice, a soft voice, and of course, a silly voice. Every child needs the opportunity to explore that. So those are all the things that I'm thinking about when we're in the land and I'm engaging children with song. And why? Why song? Why use song when working with the children? with children in the land. And this is where I hope to kind of fill you up with some inspiration if you needed some. When we work with song in the land with children, we're allowing children the opportunity to develop a relationship with their own voice, to find out what voice do they have in them. We're allowing children the opportunity to explore the range of their voice. How high can my voice go? How low? How loud? How soft? How fast? How slow? And every child loves exploring how silly their voice can be. When we work with song, while we're working with children in the land, it also allows children the opportunity to build confidence and understanding that their voice matters. I was thinking actually, and a memory came to me not too long ago, in this past week as I was preparing for this 1 year, a few years ago, I was working in the kindergarten program. And I remember there was a boy who was a selective mute. He wouldn't speak, but we would go outside and we would sing. And I can't remember why, but at one point, I think we maybe took a recording for the homeroom teacher of the kids underneath this beautiful maple tree singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." And it was really remarkable because the child that you could hear louder than any other child in the group was the child who we had not heard speak once in the classroom. Singing allows children the opportunity to develop a sense of belonging and community. It gives them an opportunity to hear their voice with other voices. And I always tell children, when we sing together, when we bring our voices together, we're making a voice that this world has never heard before. All of our voices together, and we make a beautiful gift, a voice that's never been heard. And each one of you belongs in as a part of this. It wouldn't be this voice if you weren't in this group with us. And so singing together, it allows children the opportunity to develop an inherent sense of belonging and to develop a sense of community. I also like to use song to spark curiosity and looking closely when we're outdoors. And I find that I don't know what it is. I haven't put my finger on it. I think it has to do with when we sing, it's from the heart. But when we sing about looking closely at the land and making predictions and observations, we're engaging through our hearts in inquiry. And so I find it's a really valuable tool for my work in supporting children and developing a relationship with the land. And I just thought I'd ask, a number of people in the chat indicated they have a great sense of comfort in using their voice with children. So I've offered what I have to share about why I think it's so important that we use song when working with children in the land. But I'm going to take this as a little cue to check in with the chat. If you'd like to add anything more, I'd welcome you to do that. Okay. So I'm coming back to this idea again of singing as exploring. I think one of the things that will really help us all is if we shift our thinking around singing. I think that we've come to a point where there's a bit of a thought of I can sing or I can't sing. And I'd like to invite you to consider that singing isn't about sounding a certain way. That's one narrative. That our voice needs to sound a certain way. We need to be able to carry a melody for us to be able to sing. I think we really need to shift that narrative, because if we think about singing is a way for us to explore our voice. It's an opportunity for us to develop a relationship with our voice, to develop a sense of belonging and community with others. And think about how, if the children that we work with develop that sense of connection with their voice and that it belongs and that it has a place, think about how no matter what they choose to do as they find their way through this life, if they have that understanding that their voice matters, we're going to see that I think that we're going to, it's a potential, it has the potential to support more voices being heard, and not just the voices that can carry a tune, right? We want all of our children to grow up understanding that their voice matters and has a place. And that when it's time for them to stand up and have their voice heard, they know their range, they know their voice, and they know how to use it. So how do we do that? We share our voice with the children. We model for them. We give permission to ourselves to share our voice, and in turn give them permission to share and explore their voice. And you know, one kind of final thought that seems to want to be shared at this point is that when we're working with children in the land and we want to support them in developing a relationship with the land and support them with developing a relationship with understanding their self and developing community, nobody is paying us to be the best singer in the crowd. Our work is supporting the children. And so when we share our voice, it's one of the biggest tools we have in our toolbox. So that's my little spark of inspiration to encourage you to explore your voice and to explore your voice with the children in your lives. I'm just gonna check the chat here because I thought I saw some things got poked in. Expression through song and dance is liberating for children. Thank you. Increase more understanding of connecting the land we are living on. Absolutely. And I like to rewrite songs with my students based on what's happening outdoors. So the green grass grows all around became the snow white fell all around when we sang the song in the winter. I got the kids thinking about what is around during the winter and how we could include those ideas in song. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. These are so wonderful. A lot of the kids, sorry, I'm having trouble scrolling. A lot of the kids I work with are new to Canada. Songs about this land are a great way to spark discussions about what is the same and different about here in the countries they've arrived from. Thank you. Absolutely. And I love the banana song. Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Oh, thank you for sharing that. That's wonderful. Those are great points. I appreciate that. All right. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a moment to reflect. What childhood songs come to mind for you? Like when you think back to your childhood, what are the songs that you're like, oh, I loved that song when I was a kid? That's a tool in your toolbox, just waiting to be pulled out. Maybe just take a moment and write that down if you feel sparked. And then as you know, we move away from this time together, consider how you might use them in your practice. So now we're going to switch gears, and I'd like to share with you an experience that happened this past year. It was quite a fun experience. I've got to say, teaching during COVID has been quite the challenge. I think it's forced us all to do things in different ways that we haven't done before. Where I am, we haven't been able to sing all year long. So I've been doing a lot of work with body percussion, and that's turned into um, a songwriting approach that we use. So I thought I'd share it with you because I think it might be something that you might find valuable. So you see here, these are flashcards. And then this is a book here, Giving Thanks, a Native American Good Morning Message. This is written by Chief Jake Swamp and illustrated by Irwin Printup Jr. So as I mentioned, the beginning of the year, we'd establish a routine, we gather in circle, and we greet the day. And for the French immersion program, I teach grade 1 French immersion this year. It's great for building vocabulary in the land. So we say hello and thank you to everything. And I share the teaching given to me by Hopi, excuse me. And I also, this is a great picture book to share. It's Chief Jake Swamp is a contemporary Mohawk chief, and it's a beautifully illustrated book that explains his tradition of beginning the day in gratitude. So in the fall, you know, and even to this day, even when we're online right now, where I am, we're online, we begin by saying hello and giving thanks and naming the land that we're in. So as the fall continued, we started looking at the rhythm behind the words. So roche, the rocks, how it's like a ta. And then we started just playing around with how we were able to name the land, stringing 4 words together to create like a line of music. And if you're seeing these music notes right now and you're going, no, like that's a bit beyond where I'm at, don't even worry about the music notes. Just think 4 hearts, 4 beats, like 4 heartbeats, 1 part of the land that we're naming and putting 4 of them together. And then for those words, we would just use body percussion, which is how can I use my body to make sound? So roche, branche, face, ciel, that would be very basic, just clapping our hands. And we can explore, and we started exploring all the different ways that we might make like body percussion routines based on the vocabulary that we were learning in the land. And we did this for quite a while, and we had a lot of fun with it. Children started grabbing things that were on the ground to use them like they were instruments. So loose parts were like wood chips and sticks that they were finding. So how might we use those to make percussion? And then as we were nearing kind of December, it was like, oh yeah, we usually kind of do like a performance around this time. We're not going to be able to do that this year by gathering people, but maybe we could write a song together. So I kind of put all the words that, this is grade 1 level. I put all the words that we had been working on, I put them on a list, and I invited children to think about on that day, what were you feeling most grateful for in your heart? And then they got into groups of 4, and then they created a line of music. And we had our song begin with Miigwech merci pour tout, which means thank you for everything. And so groups of 4 kids came up with their special line. They put body percussion to it, and then we put it all together, and we had written a song. And it was a beautiful process, and you can definitely see we're working outdoors because some of this on the left is me rewriting it. I learned that when I am putting things on chart paper and bringing them outside, if I am going to use them multiple times, I do it in Sharpie pen. Because when I don't, like I did on the right, and I use my Crayola markers, well, all it takes is a little bit of rain and it all gets wiped out, and then I've got to do it all over again. So this became our song, and kids worked together to develop a body percussion routine to go with it. And it was a really beautiful offering. It was our way of saying thanks to the land that we were learning in. And it was really neat because in the spring, the land that I teach in, there are some beautiful sugar maples, and we began learning about harvesting maple sap. And here's some pictures showing the sap that was harvested. And then I brought it home and boiled it down and showed them the maple syrup, and the wow in kids' faces when they were like, that's maple syrup, like maple syrup came from this tree. And I suggested, or I just asked, how might we say thank you to this beautiful tree? And this tree, the children had named Sugar. How might we say thank you to Sugar? And a child raised her hand and she said, why don't we write a song? And so that was, for me, it was a really special day because we were able to apply everything that we'd been learning all year. And here you'll see the lyrics are on the left, Miigwech Sugar. So the song went, Miigwech Sugar, Miigwech pour la sève. La sève fait le sirop, yummy, yummy, yum. Merci Sugar, merci pour la sève. Tu es mon ami, yay Sugar. So thank you Sugar, thank you Sugar, thank you for the sap. The sap makes syrup, yummy, yummy, yum. Thank you Sugar, thank you Sugar, thank you for the sap. You are my friend, yay Sugar. Meaning yay Sugar the tree. That was probably the best day this year. It was just such a heartwarming moment. And, you know, in 20 minutes, they banged out a song and had actions to go with it. That's a picture of their shadows doing the actions for this song that they had written as a gift for this beautiful tree who taught us such a beautiful thing. So some ideas there to support you in considering how you might approach songwriting with children as you work in the land. And the final thing I wanted to share with you tonight is a big part of what I do is I continue writing songs and I share them. This past school year, I've been sharing a tree song cycle, and these are songs to support inquiry. So I write songs to inspire children to look closely when we sing them together, to inspire them to make some predictions about what we might find when we're in the land. We keep singing them as time goes on so that they have a way of sharing through song what observations they're making as we're in the land. And we keep singing them because we love them and they're fun. And it can show me how they're starting, their relationship with the land is shifting. So these songs can all be found on my blog, which I did see was put in the chat, www.landheartsong.com. And I wanted to share with you, I think this is going to play, but I'm going to try to skip it because we're not going to have time for it. Because we're going to sing a song. So this is the song that's coming up next in the tree song cycle. And this song is called Thank You Tree. And this song I love because it's gratitude. It's sharing gratitude for the trees. And, you know, in June, it gets awful hot. In September, it's often awful hot. And so to say thank you, tree, for being there for me and for growing your leaves so broad. But also, this song invites a good amount of silly as we think about who's enjoying this tree with me. So I did say in the write-up, if you've got an instrument, you're welcome to bring it with you. So if you have your instrument handy, why don't you grab it? Because I am going to grab my guitar. We're going to sing this song together. My hands are a little cold. It's a little chilly here. The sun's going down, so I'm going to do my best to sing this song with you. I'll sing it with you. It's a pretty catchy melody, so I think you'll get it pretty quick. And I think you'll get the hang of it, and we'll have some opportunity for audience participation, because I'd like you to maybe, as you're singing the song, you can look out your window, or maybe you're outside, and tell me what animals are enjoying these trees with you tonight. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for growing your leaves so broad. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for the shade from the hot sun. And I've got a friend right here. Squirrel has appeared, and we've got a song for you. Thank you for all you do. It goes. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for growing your leaves so broad. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for the shade from the hot sun. And I've got a friend right here. A cardinal has appeared, and we've got a song for you. Thank you for all you do. It goes choo 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 choo. So I'm going to look in the chat now and see if anybody has a suggestion for an animal that we might share this tree with. A chickadee is a great one. Thank you. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, growing your leaves so broad. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for the shade from the hot sun. And I've got a friend right here. A chickadee has appeared, and we've got a song for you. Thank you for all you do. It goes dee 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 dee. I see we've got a lot of owl fans. That'll be a hoot to do, right? Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for growing your leaves so broad. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for the shade from the hot sun. And I've got a friend right here. An owl has appeared, and we've got a song for you. To thank you for all you do. It goes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I'm super pumped. There's a piano. That's super cool. I don't think I can see everybody, but I hope if you have not gathered an instrument yet, this is a time for you to pick up your spoons or to grab your salt shaker or anything that makes sound that makes you happy. And let's do a round. I see we've got a robin, a panda, and a fox. So it's going to be choose your own adventure. And we'll do one more round together. Ready? Bum, bum, bum. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for growing your leaves so broad. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for the shade from the hot sun. And I've got some friends right here. A robin, fox, and panda have appeared, and we've got a song for you. Thank you for all you do. I'm just going to listen this time.
No, he's good.
Go for it.
Thank you, tree, for all you do for me. Thank you, my tree. Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for growing your leaves so broad.
Yeah.
Thank you, tree, for being here for me, for the shade in the hot sun.
For the shade from the hot sun. Yay, that was awesome. That was super fun. There you go. So this is a super fun song to do with kids as we're, depending on where you are in your learning journey with them, you might use this as a way, as your starting time with them, to give out gratitude and to just kind of gather some information about, you know, where are they at? Where's their environmental literacy about who they think might be sharing the land with them? I agree, lovely voices and duet. That was super cool. I love that. Thank you, Jade. And then it also could be, I've used this also last year virtually, where I had children draw pictures of who is joining them in the land, and they would send in pictures. And then last year we were asynchronous, so I'd record the song with their pictures. But this year we're synchronous, you know, it's like amazing. Yeah, let's sing it together. My favorite was the butterfly, right? Because these things just get you thinking, well, what does that butterfly sound like? How might we do that? So these are resources. This chord chart, the lyrics are going to be sent out with you afterwards. After this session, I also will be posting this one in the next month on my blog, and I have a whole tree song cycle there for you. And in the following year, I'm going to be releasing songs that are connecting with the animals that we share this land with. So those are resources that I would love if they work for you to share them with children. Go for it. I also have videos, so you could share the videos, or you can share your song, and you can do it with instruments, and you can do it without, and it's all there for you to support exploring song with children. That was a cool jam. I love that. Thank you so much. So I'll just look and see if there's any burning questions. Oh, sorry. If there's any questions that are, I can't see if we get to the chat, but oh, looks like we're okay. I was aware that there's another session that's starting, and so I did want to think about giving you guys time to go to the bathroom if you needed to between now and the next one. So just before we part, I would just like to invite you to, oh, sorry, I'm having a little, trying to move something out of the way. To consider now, is your comfort level feeling, have we moved along the spectrum in terms of where you're at? And if you want to share that in the chat, you're more than welcome to. But if you just want to have that kind of reflection piece for yourself, has anything shifted? What might be a takeaway that you would like to take with you before we part? And I'm just going to share, I am going to go look in the chat, but I understand there might be people who want to slink off. So I just want to say thank you. I would love to connect with you more. I'm so passionate about this work and about learning, and I think there's so many of us out there who are doing such amazing work, and so I'd like to continue learning with you. So there's my email, there's my website, and I'm trying to use Instagram and Twitter as social media. Sorry, I'm pressing buttons because I'm trying to scroll up and I can't. Oh, you guys are so, oh, Jade, we moved you from a 1 to a 7? That's amazing. You jumped on the piano and jammed. That's so awesome. And thank you. Oh, thanks so much for the music. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm so glad. And please feel free to reach out